come on live. We shall see if this works. Technology, man, it's awesome when it works, and it sucks when it doesn't. Let's see what you said here. Hey, Charlie's on here. Dope. My man. Oh, dude, we got a bunch of people on here tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Sal, you should be able to come on. There you go. I see you. Takes, 10 minutes for webinar. I still don't see you live, but that's not a big deal. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. There you go.
Okay,
yep.
That's good.
Gotcha.
That's good. Look, it took me 10 minutes just to go through the process of Webinar GM2. Yeah. And that.
Well, so, and like every 5 seconds, seconds they change it, right?
So, look, for today, I just wanted to listen to see what you want to talk, what you're going to be talking about with Facebook ads, and what has been your experience so far. More or less looking at the Facebook ads and the strategies behind it too.
So if you saw the latest newsletter,
no, I
it's
didn't.
funny. I send it out and it's like a vacuum. I think I Facebook messaged you the right link, but
okay.
Yeah. So basically, what it is a question type ad. So I don't know why my microphone keeps going up and down, but hopefully it's stable.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. So what I've been running, and I think what I'm going to do is, because I've been running ads direct to the sales page, which works, but you just need more leads. That's what I'm finding, is that I need more leads to come into the funnel, and the only way that's going to happen is if I put a lead magnet or a bribe or a guide or a checklist or something in front of that sales page ad. Because otherwise, yes, I'm going to get buyers if I go from an ad right to the sales letter, but it's going to be, a much smaller pool to deal with than if I advertise something for free and then retarget them to the sales page. Which is sort of, you would think I would know that going in, but I was like, well, it works for these people. And so it is working. Like, we have the first webinar coming up on Thursday, which will be selling the sales message success, the 6-week sales letter course for like $1,000. So once that starts happening, so everybody that buys the Bond Halbert videos will get invited as a thank you to that bonus training. Hey, the free advanced masterclass on how to write, craft successful copy, and emails, and then basically we'll pitch that $1,000 sales message success course. If they buy that, awesome. If not, then they get put into that bribe sequence for the Lawton Chiles Inner Circle, which they can basically get the stuff for free if they join for for $397 a month. So it can work. I hadn't had the webinar on there, so I was missing that big 10x profit, $1,000 products. But yeah, for the Facebook stuff, let me show you guys. And I see Charles on here. What's up, man? It's nice to do these later times because I get all the worldwide audiences.
That's not Charles Kirkland, is it?
I think Charles is here and Charles is here. So we got two. Let me see who we got in here. Yeah. So yeah, he's here. And then I think I told Charles Kirkland about it, and he's okay. I see Stanley's there as well. Awesome. So yeah, we usually get about 30%. It seems like we'd be able to get more, but it's hard to get everybody on at one time. But I guess some people don't want to be on. They just watch the replay. Darn you people. Come on live. Get your stuff. That's what you're paying for. Get your stuff.
I think there's the problem I'm finding, and I've been doing this for a few years now, is overwhelming. You just get overwhelmed with too many things, and
right. Yeah. And that's why I've tried to, not give too much, but then at the same time, give you enough. This month you got a Facebook ad campaign, and then there will be some other videos that are dripped along with that. Okay, here's how to split test. So I'll show you in the ad thing. Let me just show you right now. Share my screen. My video is gonna let's see. So my video is going to go away, and I'm going to share the screen. Let's share the, sorry. Let's share this guy. Oops, this is the wrong one. So anyway, oh yeah, this is it. So these are 3 different ads. So you can see one of them says plain talk about getting emails opened. Another one says don't send another email until you read this. And the last one says how to write emails which get sales and get opened. So this is far from the final thing that we're split testing. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going into, and let me just open up my Ad Espresso account. And I'm sort of learning this as I go along. I'm by no means a paid media master or anything. I was always sort of brought in after the fact to improve conversions on campaigns, to critique ads that were already running. I never really had to go out and do this until I started my own, products and stuff in the last year or so. So, this part is the hardest part for me. Writing the copy, and the offers and creating the products is much easier. So I think people either have problems with one or the other. They either have a problem with figuring out the paid traffic and figuring out how to turn $1 into $2, or how to break even and get a customer for free and then sell them something on the back end and make a profit, or they have problems with the copy. And each side thinks there's some magic sauce, like, oh, if only I had this one thing, then I would be able to, achieve greatness. But I think really it's just all about trial and error and testing things. So for a long time, all that people saw was, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So for a long time, all that people saw was this one ad. And let me, the ad here. And this ad started with, I think it was like $10 a day or something, 5 or 10, I think it was 10, maybe it was $20 a day. And what I did was I put like 2 million people into the audience, which I guess you're not supposed to do. I mean, I think you can do it and it works pretty good. Like I was making more than I was spending. So to me, that's successful, but I didn't really know like who was buying. And I just knew like someone in that large audience, a number of them were buying the products, whether that was the $7 product or the $300 upsell, or the, multiple things like that. But now I'm going back and I'm basically saying, okay, testing with like $25 a day, or $20 a day or something like that. And I'm just seeing like, and again, I dumped a bunch of interest in there because I want to split test quickly to find out like which one is getting clicked on the most and which one is hopefully going to convert the most. So this ad was in your newsletter for this month, and if you didn't get this for some reason in the post or in Facebook Messenger that I messaged you it, let me know and I will send it to you. So basically, this ad asks a question up front. And this is a really good way to lead them into the copy. So when I was learning, when I was starting out writing copy for coffee shops and small local clients in my hometown, I learned from a guy named Joe Sugarman. He had the famous blue blocker sunglasses, and he did a bunch of copy tutorials. He had his own ad agency, and so he taught me in his books about the greased slide. And sort of, you can see in this ad that it's not, that this ad is not about big paragraphs. You're not going to find 5 or 6 sentences chunked together in one paragraph. This ad is easy to read. There's a lot of one-line paragraphs. And that's because I want people to look at this copy and without reading a word of it, not be intimidated to read it. And that's why I want them to go on this greased slide that Joe Sugarman talks about all the way to the buy button. In this case, it's an ad click that I want. So that's why it's chunked up like this, where there's 3 lines up front, and then there's a paragraph, and then there's like 2 words, and then there's another paragraph. So it's not hard to read. It's not intimidating. It doesn't look scary to read. Okay. And so it starts off with that asking them a question. So if I was doing this over again, I would say, Lawton Chiles here, and I have a question for you. are your email open rates below 20%? Okay. And it's almost impossible for the brain to ignore a question. And as I started to analyze this ad that was working, and it's working basically because now if they just bought the $7 product, I don't make any money. I lose money. But because I added the $37 one-time offer bump in ClickFunnels, and because I added the $200 upsell, and because I basically dumped people into the bribe sequence to the inner circle, it was making money because of the rebills and things like that, and from the upsells. If it was just going from an ad to a $7 product, you would lose money all day, every day, because it costs me about $20 to $30 to get that $7 buyer. But it's still working because of the upsells and the inner circle people that are sticking and, all that stuff. So but the point about this is, number one, I started running this. So I didn't say like, oh, what if it doesn't work? I just did the best I could with what I had, which was my credentials from working with all these people. And I already had the product with Bond Halbert. And I was like, well, I might as well just try to sell this, modeling what Frank Kern was doing with his book funnel. And I was like, well, I've got a series of videos. It's not a book, but it's videos and they're good. And so, we did this ad. And so it starts off asking that question. Is your email open rates below 20%? What if there was a simple way to get it above 35%, or 50%? Want to write simple email subject lines which get opened. So I asked them 3 questions in a row. You don't have to do that, but I just find it draws them in. It's non-threatening. It's not pitching them right up front. Okay. It's not saying like, hey, come to my webinar or something. It's saying, hey, do you suffer from this problem? Are your stock trading choices, usually in the negative instead of the positive? Do you struggle when it comes to talking to the opposite sex and trying to get a date? What if you could get, start a great friendship with one amazing woman this month? So it's just asking them a question, and it's eliciting that desire. And so they're basically saying like, oh, what if I could do that? Or what if my email open rates, could go up? And so that works very well. And then the second part of it that draws them in is if you want to XYZ. So mine says if you want to skyrocket your email open rates, and I'm kind of paraphrasing because I can't read it when I'm back here from the microphone, but if you want to skyrocket your email open rates, if you want to, write amazing headlines and email body copy as well, then this will be the most important ad you read all year. Now, that's a big claim. And so I have to back that up by saying, here's why. So instead of just letting that claim lay out there, and you notice I'm calling it an ad. I'm not shying away from that. It's an ad. It's an advertisement. My name's Lawton Chiles. I've been working hard for the past 12 years, writing, hard-hitting persuasive copy for clients and then I list all my credentials. Now, if they don't know who these people are, it doesn't matter. But if they do, then it matters a lot, right? See my methods on the next page. Write easy emails which get sales and get opened, and then how to write emails which get sales and get opened. In reality, it should have said how to write emails which get opened and get sales, but, beggars can't be choosers, right? And then there's not a photo of me. It's just a vector file that I think Charles Kirkland gave me. He's like, this is working really well. So we ran that and it worked pretty good. But now what we're doing is we're going through and we're taking this ad that's working, meaning I'm making more than I'm spending on the advertising. And I am split testing like 16 different photos and 7 different headlines because I want to see, is there another angle that'll work better? And so that's been my approach to Facebook ads. And really I use Ad Espresso, which is just, I don't think it's like $400 a year. Actually, if you spend more, they start to charge you more, but, it's just an easier dashboard than the Facebook, ads manager or the power editor. I'm seeing Charles, want to say something. So Sal, I'm going to, return you as an attendee, and I'm going to invite my man as a speaker. I think you can come on even if I'm sharing the screen, but maybe not. Does that make sense to everybody, that walkthrough? And again, in the newsletter, there is a complete walkthrough of the ad. And you could totally rip it off. You could totally, line by line, obviously write your own copy. But it's there as a resource for you. And it works. I mean, it worked for me. So the main thing about the ad that worked is it's asking a question or a series of questions to the audience, and it's saying, hey, this is Sal, and if you want, if you're suffering from big problem number 1 and big problem number 2, would you like to see better results? If so, then you tell them how that you can help them. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to triple their open rates. Actually, that one got banned. It was like how to get 52% email open rates, even if you're not a great writer. That one got rejected, as I knew it would. It was a big claim, and Facebook hates claims. So I'm not saying that I'm going to triple their open rates. I'm not saying that they're going to make any money. I am saying that how to write emails which get sales, but I'm not saying like how much they'll make or, whatever. And even if you look at the sales page on the next page, underneath the buy button, there is a thing that says, hey, my results are in no way typical. People who actually get information marketing advice usually lose money. I don't know you or your business, but this has worked for me and my client, and I think it can work. Okay, so this is the ClickFunnels account. Now, this is gonna basically let me. I use a thing called Proof, and so what Proof lets me do is it allows me to have a little pop-up here on the bottom left-hand side. So you can see this little pop-up here, which is popping up and saying like, so-and-so just got the checklist. So-and-so just got the checklist. So-and-so just got the checklist. And so, like it basically just is giving me some more of that social proof, and it works on mobile. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So you can see on mobile here, it'll pop up there. And I'm sorry about the mic constantly flashing. I'm not sure what that's about, but, we're lucky we can be on tonight. So, okay. So this thing allows me to send them, the free report, and then let me show you, the free report. Now that ad would go on to basically, sell them, that ad would go on to, and so instead of sending them to that sales page, it would send them to this page, and it would just allow me to get a lot more leads, for the campaign. And so, okay, here we go. I'm going to show you the report that they would get. Okay, which would be this guy right here. Okay, so just one second. Okay, so this would be the report. Yeah, Stanley, I haven't tested like with or against, but without a doubt, it's making a difference because it's sort of compounding the fact that, and I put it on so today I put it on my, webinar registration page. So check this out. Let me show you this really quick though, and then I'll go back. So this guy will be, given to them, as a lead magnet. Your exhaustive list of subject line material. It gives them a little example up here, and then each thing will have a screenshot. So each website will have a screenshot of the the case. So it's cool, and I think it'll help people. So I have to go in and do like all this tomorrow, but this will be like 10 or 15 pages, and it'll help people. And I think the actual ad, which I'm gonna maybe rip off from Scott Olford, is him there will be like a screen flow video of me like, hey, this is Lawton Chiles, and I want to give you this exhaustive list of email subject line material. And as you can see, this PDF is chock full of examples of websites from big media publishers. And these people are masters at getting you to click on a link for a story or an email or a product. And so what I've done is I've put together a list of 37 of these, which I'd like to give you. All you need to do is click on the ad and put in the best place to send it to you, and I'll send it to you. So that would be sort of like me just scrolling through this guide, stopping periodically. And this would be a video ad that would run in Facebook for $5 or $10 a day, or $100 a day, or $500. The money doesn't necessarily matter as much as proof of concept. So I know people are buying the $7 simple subject line seekers. All this is doing is getting more people to see something for free, and then eventually get retargeted to the sales page to get into the funnel. Okay. Does that make sense? I think it does work really good, Charles. I mean, I think it just makes sense to me because it's like, it's just very honest. It sort of takes away, it goes back to the authenticity of the ad. Like, hey, it's Lawton Chiles. I have a question for you. It's not saying like, I'm here to pitch you something, you know, and this works well, because it's just me being cool to them. And, it's still saying that you're raising your hand here. Let me return you to 10B. Yeah, does that make sense for everybody? That strategy of putting together a really cool piece of content. And all this is, I mean, I didn't make any of this. This is just, you know, look at it. It says, you know, and this needs to be reworked, right? So if I was rewriting this, I would say we can actually do the dictation. Let me see if it actually will let me dictate. Hey, it's Lawton here. It's Lawton here, and thank you so much for requesting my exhaustive list of email marketing subject lines. Yeah, I don't think it's going to do it. Anyway, if it wasn't on live, it would work. And so I would just go in here and I would say, hey, thanks so much. You know, so hey. All right, so big mistake. These are powerful publishers. They spend millions of dollars. You know, might as well benefit from their data, right? And I would format this and, you know, get rid of the spelling errors and all this stuff. Okay. Get rid of any kind of stragglers here. And then I like to do capitalized case like this. And then maybe, you know, so yeah, and then, you know, the guide would go on every single website would have a screenshot. So Variety, thestreet.com, we would go to the street. So I would go here. Let me just go back to the webinar jam. Sorry, y'all. Charles got to go. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate it, man. So I would go. Let me just switch browsers here. Sorry, guys, I've got a ton of stuff open. Here we go. So I would go to the street. Where's this window? Whoops. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Here we go. All right. So I would go to street.com. Oops. Street. I would go to the street, which is, I think, stock trading. And I would find a screenshot and, you know, all that jazz. Okay, so this is Jim Cramer. But the street has a blog. Let's just go to Motley Fool. Motley Fool. It's fool.com. Motley Fool is really great copywriters over there. They know what they're doing. And they, you know, they're really good at this. So motleyfool.com is a resource where it's funny, you got a doctor's appointment. Yeah, it's the middle of the day. So fool.com is it's got some great headlines in here. So I mean, this whole guide could be from fool.com. You know, here are the 5 biggest things we learned from Apple's earnings call. Here are the 5 biggest lessons I learned from running my first webinar. here are the 5 biggest stock trading tips I learned from investing in Amazon. Here are the 3 big trends I see from Apple buying Whole Foods, right? So you see how I'm just sort of pulling that out of the air from the from this headline. Let's see. So again, this would not be a headline you could run on Facebook or anything, but here's how to XYZ. Here's how to run your first webinar using Facebook ads. Here's how to write a email sequence which converts subscribers into buyers. Okay, so just here's how to do something they want to do. And I'm always sort of looking for these type of frameworks. Let's see. Okay, 11 cruise lines with the cleanest ships. So again, list based. And this could be an article that has a pitch at the end. And then if they don't go to the sales page or if they don't buy, they get retargeted, right? So this is Lawton, Chiles, and I have a question for you. Have you ever been on a dirty, nasty cruise ship? Do you wish that you had access to a clearinghouse of the best cruise ships for you, your family, and your loved ones so you wouldn't get, diarrhea, so you wouldn't get sick, so you wouldn't, negative thing. Oops. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to stop this. Right. So does that make sense? And then some of the best stuff is like right in here, where you're cruising can be one of the most civilized things, but, it's there's some nightmare, so it could be like 11 cruise lines with the cleanest ships, how to avoid a cruise sailing nightmare for you and your family. So like, hey, Lawton, Chiles here. I have a question for you. Have you ever been on a dirty, nasty cruise ship and wished that you could have avoided the experience? I've spent over $25,000 on cruise ships with me and my family, and I finally got so sick of, the experience of like bad service or food poisoning or, them running out of beer when I wanted a cold beer at the end of the day that I compiled this list of 11 cruise lines with the cleanest ships. And if you'd like it, click the link in this ad and I'll send it right to you, and then maybe I'd have some bullet points like, 3 secret items that most cruise ships will never tell you about, but that, 3 secret menu items, which are the tastiest on any cruise ship and the freshest, but you'll never see them listed on any menu. 7 cruise lines to always try to book first, and the 3 that I would avoid at all costs. The number one booking mistake that people make when they try to take a cruise in the summer, and how I saved $75 per ticket by booking a month ahead. I'll give you the exact dates. Just sign up. So I would put bullet points in that ad that they could only learn what the answers were when they when they clicked the ad. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, I think it does. Cool. Yeah, so that's really what I wanted to talk about today. Does anybody have anything to review or for me to critique or look at or give advice on? Obviously, we're missing about half the people today, but I think this later time works for everybody. So we're probably going to keep it. Tomorrow, what I'm going to be giving you inside the Dropbox. Let me paste that in right here. So, all right, let me go back here. Go to 3. So if you go to, and I'll give you this link. You go to Dropbox. If you go to the link I'm about to give you, the special link I'm about to give you, what you're going to see is I'm going to put all the files every month into these Dropbox. So instead of sending you the files every month, like physically, what I was doing, it's easy for those to get lost. I'm just going to send them to you digitally, but you'll still get the newsletter physically. Let's see. Reset. If anybody knows a better way to navigate Dropbox, let me know. Okay, so tomorrow I will be walking you through how to create your first couple ads in Facebook without any special tools. But I have put together these 3 videos for you immediately, plus the newsletter. So because the newsletter has, ad examples, and it has links to those examples. And, obviously you can't click a link in a physical newsletter. So I've given you the newsletter right here. Okay. So the first one I want you to look at, first of all, I'm going to share this file with you. I sent it to your email, and I put it in Facebook. I put it in the Facebook group, but for some insane reason that you did not get it. Now, what you have to do here is, instead of just clicking the video and playing the video inside of Dropbox, Dropbox will only play 15 minutes of it. So what I want you to do is go up here and click the download button, and then that will automatically download it onto your desktop. And so you could send it to your iPhone or iPad using AirDrop. You could paste this link into your browser and then download it onto your device or whatever. So you click here. You can also click this thing and click download. So if you just wanted to download every single thing, you would just click this little three button thing and click download, click download, click download. And then this one right here. So let's just download the newsletter. The newsletter has links in it. Okay. You can actually view this in your browser if you want, but the newsletter has links in it. And so it has a checklist you can fill out to get clear on your goals and stop wasting so much time on social media. And then the first ad is down here. So this is the main ad. But then I also give you some other ads that you can model, like you can see the ad right here up at the top, and this goes to Neil Patel's ad, which also is a question-based ad. Okay. And I give you 3 or 4 different ads in there. And so this just says, hey, are you an entrepreneur who sells your products or services online, right? So it's just asking a simple question. If so, are you frustrated? So again, it's going through that pain and frustration angle, which you've seen with the ad that I just showed you that I'm doing. Are your email open rates below 20%? And Neil's saying, are you frustrated, overwhelmed, and annoyed by the so-called surefire ways to get traffic to your website and convert that traffic into paying customers? So I found this ad after I wrote mine, I'm pretty sure, but I wanted to put it in the newsletter. So that is in there for you to model. And he's a pretty cool guy, knows what he's doing. Let me go down to the rest. Sorry for scrolling so fast. Again, the other thing I wanted to show you was Dan Kennedy's dog whistle copy. Now, this ad that I ran relies heavily on this dog whistle copy idea of just calling out to the person who has the specific problem and ignoring everybody else, right? So if you don't have low email open rates, you're not going to read the rest of the ad. But if you do, then the ad will be very, very interesting and compelling to you. Again, you can get Dan's book here. There's a link right here to his book. I don't think it'll let me. Yeah. So there's a link right here to his book. And then I go through the ad line by line with you right here, and I give you some example copy that, like, okay, that's for different industries. Okay. So number 1, ask the question. Number 2, the big benefit for reading. Number 3, a big claim which needs to be backed up by saying here's why. Then my credentials, and then a call to action, right? Also going through like bucket brigade copy, how to make a transition statement from one sentence to another in a fluid way. So I give you a bunch of transition statements right here that you can model, and then this builds up credibility in my claims. And then the call to action, which is click the link, how to write emails which get sales and get opened, and then I give you an actual email template to use in the email as well, or in the newsletter as well. So this was a darn good issue, guys. And that is it for this month. Next month, I think we'll tackle the upsell formula, which they get a little order bump. So I'll give you upsell, keynote, and PowerPoint templates to model. Let's see if anybody has any questions. I don't see anything. So that's it for this week. We will meet again. Let's see. We will meet again. Let me just get the calendar here. We will meet again on the 15th of August. So every 15 days. We'll meet again on the 15th of August. And again, don't hesitate to send me anything you're working on for me to review it personally and give you actual copy sent back to you. And frameworks and that kind of thing. Headlines, bullet points, funnel frameworks, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And I appreciate your business. I appreciate you being part of the Inner Circle. That said, I am looking for people to give me little iPhone testimonials, which some of you have been very kind enough to send in. If you do want to give me a 10 or 15 second little iPhone talking head commercial for the Inner Circle, here's a little script. Be like, hey, it's Lawton Chiles, and I've been a part of Lawton's Inner Circle for a couple months, and this is the main thing I've gotten out of it, and this is my favorite thing about the Inner Circle. If you're on the fence about joining the Inner Circle for any reason, here's why you should not doubt yourself and act right now, right? So that's only 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I would love to have a little iPhone commercial from you that you could shoot with your phone or your Android phone and email to me or post in the Facebook group. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would help me get more people in here. So because that's the ultimate goal, is to build this up to 50 people in the next couple months, and then 250 because that's the magic number. So anyway, thanks for listening to me. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for your questions. Appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon.